Great to have you on the programme, Andreas. Let's first of all start with your reading of the situation right now, this huge wave of strikes.
So certainly, as you already rightly mentioned, these are extensive strikes that have been launched all over the country. Certainly the boldest strikes that we've seen from the US since the beginning of the war in Gaza. Certainly far more extensive, far-reaching, and also targeting directly not just military facilities, but also trying to target Houthi leaders. That is certainly a major escalation from the US point of view. But instead of going after one of the root causes, which is obviously the Gaza war, and trying to solve this, he's now going after one of the symptoms. And obviously, over the last 18 months or so, we've seen the Houthis really being emboldened by the war in Gaza and by the response by Israel, United States, and the UK striking the Houthis in Yemen. That has actually been very counterproductive. And what we've seen over the last years as well, since the war that was led by the Saudis, is that the Houthis are not really responsive to deterrence by punishment, and hence usually instead of just putting pressure on them and changing their behavior, I think that will just further embolden them. The thing is, though, I think Trump understands as well. I mean, the US understands, the US military understands that there won't be a military solution to the Houthi problem. The Houthis have been proven to be extremely resilient. Even if they've been able to sustain years and years of strikes from the Saudi-led coalition as well. They have not been strategically weakened. Even in terms of degradation, the network of the Houthis, which it is essentially, has not been substantially degraded. So taking all of this into account, I think Trump knows that there isn't a lot to be achieved militarily on the ground against the Houthis. You can degrade. But in the end of the day, this is supposed to be the opening gambit to a greater negotiation. I think what Trump is getting wrong here, though, is that the Houthis, yes, they are funded by Iran, and obviously the technology is Iranian technology. But after all, they're a Yemeni actor. They're deeply ingrained, embedded in the local community. And as such, they're not vitally relying just on the Iranians to switch them on and off. I mean, they have a great degree of agency and autonomy. So essentially, it has to be a political settlement. And even striking Iran will not make any difference will have not any major impact on how the Houthis operate around the Bab al-Mandab.